Kylin, after some defensive struggles recently, what did it take to hold Sanford and Dix down to 18 points combined? Because obviously you got to chase a lot for that. So what was the key to you guys having success there?
Yeah, when we got back from Duke, we implemented like a little slight hedge, and I feel like that's big for us guards. You know, getting off the pick and rolls, and we're playing the sag. It's kind of hard for us to get back in front of the guys we need to guard. So for us, just being more intense, pressuring the ball, I feel like that's what we do best, us guards especially. So I feel like that gave us a big help.
I guess for both of you, both of you played 30-plus minutes. KJ did. I think Will did as well, just plus Trey. The starters kind of did a lot of that. What did you like about that five tonight?
That was, it's the group that started it out this year. We have great chemistry. I feel like a lot of us, just trying to stay the course, stay locked in each and every day. These last 2 days of practice were huge for us, having the right mentality and after a game after Duke like that. But today I feel like, implementing that new defensive structure for us. And then, next question.
Kylin, after Duke, Brad mentioned you as the number one guy he'll be looking to pick this up and get it right back on the right track. What were you able to do in terms of taking on that role and getting the team to respond?
And I'm playing a lot of big games like that. For us, we felt some type of way after the game. Like I just said, though, we came back to the lab with the right mentality. We didn't let that, affect our course. When we got back, Coach Underwood's philosophy was just go 1-0 each and every game, just take it one game at a time. And I feel like today we did a great job of that.
For both of you, Tommy, if you could start just after the last 3 games and kind of what that's been, what were the emotions of getting this one and winning by 20 points?
We're glad to get a win home, and especially after last few games, and it means a lot for us. But we were focused for upcoming games. What happened was behind us, and we knew that we had to lift our energy, change some things, and prove that we're the team that was before, and that we gotta focus on the upcoming games.
Kylin, only 5 turnovers tonight, and also the ball movement was really crisp. Anything you guys worked on heading into this matchup?
For us, that's been a big reason with our losses, too, especially these games, and especially in the crunch time. Big focus when we watch the film is me, KJ, guys are bringing up a lot, not having silly turnovers, closing out these type of games. I think today we did a great job of that. And then, when you don't turn the ball over, don't give the team extra possessions, so you can have a better chance to win.
Kylin, same question for you. The emotions of today, and how did you guys weather it's clearly a tough 3-game stretch before this.
It just happens. Basketball is a game of runs and a game of opportunities. You get to wake up and get another game, watch the film of that one, have the right mentality when we came back to practice, and just, next game at a time.
Tommy, obviously a matchup that you felt like you could do well in, but what led to success for you guys offensively and you particularly?
I don't know. We were preparing for their defense, and when the game started, I felt good, and team recognized me there, and I'm glad that I helped the team win there.
Kylin, it seemed like there was maybe a sense of calm from the beginning, and then a little bit of swagger. We saw KJ pumping up the crowd and stuff. Why was that, do you think?
That's just us. In practice, we're like that, going at each other, talking, smack. But I feel like that's when we're playing our best, when everybody's connected, everybody's locked in. And then, when the game's going your way, hitting shots stuff like that, it makes it easier.
Kylin, what in particular, as a leader and someone coach really challenged, what would you do specifically the last couple of days with these guys?
I think in defense, just being more, in practice, just being more vocal. We had a tough 3-game stretch. We don't want to keeping that going for us. We know what type of team we can be and what type of team we are. So each and every day, I'm just trying to take a bigger role for us and being that guy vocally.
It's Kylin to say, that swagger is this team. Do you feel like you've had that consistently, maybe over this stretch of 6 weeks?
For sure, no. That's something we're just trying to work on, too. Letting swings of the game sometimes let us get down. We can tell within each other and just trying to work on that, picking each other up. But that's something we've been working on these last 2 days, regardless of the outcomes of the games. Regardless if a team goes on a run or something like that, for us to be our best is we have that mentality.
This is for both of you. Tommy, start with you since you haven't practiced a lot. What did practice mean? And you guys have some days off here, next 2 weeks. What do you think that'll mean for the team to have a lot of practice together?
Especially for me personally, it means a lot because I skipped a lot of practices, and I would say out of shape. And last 2 days of practices meant a lot for me because it was basically the first 2 practices in a month that I practiced seriously with the team. And it also helps the team because we changed some stuff in the defensive end, the offensive end, and we were preparing for this game, and now we know we have more time to prepare for the next 2 games, and we'll use those days as much as possible to change some new stuff, to adapt to new stuff, and to keep winning.
Kylin, you guys were really aggressive getting downhill early, passing up passing up some open threes to drive and kick and get better ones. How big of an emphasis was attacking the basket, especially after Duke, where maybe you guys settled for some threes that weren't as high percentage?
Even though it's a big part of our offense, is shooting the 3 and offensive rebound. When we get matchups that we like, all of us guards can just get downhill one-on-one. So we just try to exploit that continuously, just putting ourselves in positions and in right plays and stuff for us to just be able to attack those guys on D.
Tommy, you guys did hedge a little bit more on screens, got away from some drop. What do you like about that? And same for you, Kylin. How's that fit you guys?
I like it because we can change in-game situations on different players. Some players offensively don't like that we hedge. Some don't like drops. It just depends. Like we're trying to hedge more time now. When the hedge is not there, we're still in drop. So, but most of the things we worked on was help from the non-ball defenders that don't guard the ball. So I think like we have a lot of space to improve there, and I think we did a good job in the last 2 days, and we'll still continue working on that.
It just makes stuff easier for me, honestly. I've got to guard Cooper and Malika coming off pick and roll. Like, that stuff is hard. But being able to have some help with the bigs, just putting the guy, bringing it out to the half court just for a second for me to get back in front. And then one-on-one, I feel like I'm the best in the country on that. And anytime I get that matchup I want, I feel like I can do that.
In the back here, wondering if you guys could tell me about the behind-the-back pass there in the back.
Oh, my fault.
The behind-the-back pass late in the game, was that something you guys had practiced just in the moment?
Yeah, we be doing that all the time in practice. Tom, pick and pop. They've been working on the hedge, too, when we guard scout and stuff like that. So that's just something we do all the time.
Usually he don't make it.
Yeah, okay.
Kylin, right here. You kind of just mentioned it, but is there anything that stays consistent, like when you get a Cooper Flag matchup and then you get a Peyton Sanford matchup in about a 2 or 3 day period? I know that's 2 pretty much completely different players, but is there anything defensively for you that stays consistent?
I mean, just my mentality. Both are really good players. Of course, Coop is just a different type of game than Peyton, but our thing for Peyton was, not trying to let him get the 3 ball off. I feel like today, just trying to make it hard as I can for him. He's taller than me and stuff, too, so if he gets the ball high in his pocket, it's money usually. So just not letting him come off those pin downs or get comfortable off the pick and roll is kind of my focus.
Kylin, you seem very happy with some of the adjustments defensively. Did you guys have any feedback with that, or what's it mean that they?
For sure, yeah. We were talking to our coaching staff for sure that trying to just implement something and just make it a little easier for us. And then we implement a lot more gap help. So like those pin down stuff, those guys are just in the gaps. Give a stunt or something. Just give us enough time to get back in front. That's the main focus.
Coach talked about maybe losing some bite defensively coming in. Do you feel like those adjustments can force that bite back out of you guys?
He's been making a big emphasis that you got to take accountability when we do stuff like this. If you're in the gaps and the guy gives you a stunt and you get back in front and they got guard one-on-one, that just has everybody more locked in. Our intensity picks up, especially when people are just more locked in on the gaps and stuff like that. And I feel like that's when we're best defensively.
Question for either you. Just want to get your thoughts on Trey, just back-to-back really solid games for you. Just what does that mean for the team?
It's great to see him get back into rhythm. Dealing with illness and stuff, it sucks. Your win is not as good as it usually is. Duke, I feel like he was kind of getting back to his flow, and tonight he did great. Having him on the court with us is just huge help for all of us defensively and offensively.
Well, nice bounce back. Guess we'll get started there. If you've really truthfully knew what went into the last 2 days, it's even that more impressive from the standpoint of what our guys picked up. We've been trying to make some changes for a while. and haven't been able to. So enough was enough. Tommy was back in practice, and we just did some subtle things to I think make some changes defensively, and then to a really small tweak offensively, but we can't give them too much. But for our guys to pick all that up, this is a very young group. They hurt us a couple times early, but I thought we did a really nice job. I thought Kylin and Kasparis on Dix and Sanford going 7 of 22, 2 of 10. Those guys are elite scorers. I thought we did a nice job, and I thought Tommy was other than missing a few rebounds, I thought was really good. But nice bounce back, 5 turnovers, 17 assists. I thought we were very effective early. Getting downhill, especially Kylin. I thought Kylin played as well as he's played in some time. But nice bounce back against a really potent offensive team, holding them to their season low 61. I think it's the most turnovers we've forced, this season. But I feel good about it. And now we've got 15 days with 2 games, and we can continue to grow and make some of the changes that we need to make.
Brad, speaking of some of those defensive changes Kylin was talking about and how much that really helped, did they have a lot of feedback with that, or how'd you guys come to some of those
We've
changes?
been trying to do it, Jeremy, for, I don't know, a month, 3 weeks, to add a little different a little ball screen coverage that just gives people a little different look. Really hard to do without Tommy. The people involved in ball screens have to be elite at communication because they have to call them and the rights, the lefts. We're gonna have to get Merez up to speed when he gets back into that area, but and then just the not switching. Keeping our good defenders on the other team's good players all the time, and there's a few other things we tweaked. We moved our pickup point back a little bit, but it was needed. It was very impressed. I'm very impressed with them, just simply at their ability to grasp that. We got home at 2:30 in the morning, up all night, to be quite honest, deciding whether to do it or to try to wait till after this game, and just felt like we needed to give these guys a little shot of different, and it wasn't perfect, but it won't be. But it was a nice subtle change that helped us tonight.
Brad, for the person that might not see it initially, what allows Kylin to go from a Cooper Flag matchup to a Peyton Sanford matchup in a 72-hour period and be effective?
Yeah, there's nothing on that side of the ball that Kylin can't do. And so physically he's very gifted. So that gives us tremendous confidence into what he can do. He didn't move Cooper. He knocked the ball away from him 4 times. I think he had, what did Cooper have, 2 at half? And then now to go chase guys off a screen and to go chase guys, off ball screens and whatever that is, his physical play allows him to do that. He's also really smart, and he's got great anticipation. He's got super quick hands, and so it doesn't matter the position, kind of 1 through 4. I'm all pretty good with him because of his strength and his quickness, being able to guard just about anybody.
Coach, Iowa looked simply overwhelmed out there with all the cuts, replacing shooters out in the corners. Can you talk about how nice it is just to have everybody back at practice and how much easier it is to implement that stuff and these next 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm done talking about sickness. I'm done. I'm exhausted. Because I know it sounds redundant and it's just nice because I still completely believe in this team's ability to where our ceiling is. You know, we're still minus a guy that's a starter. It was really nice to see Trey back and his energy and his bounce, and so it's you can do some things. You feel whole again, and it's not. It's just nice. Now we can get back to coaching, and you know, it was nice to see Will in the starting lineup and you know, his performance and 7 rebounds. So yeah, we got some work to do, no doubt, but it's nice to have everybody to be able to do it with.
But I hope this isn't too simple, but what kind of release valve can this be for a young team that has kind of been through it a little bit, and to have this kind of performance with the changes you've made?
Well, I think it speaks volumes to them. You don't just show up. I mean, we were young. I don't know, what were we young, 2 or 3 years ago? That team had no ability to respond like this one did, and their confidence, their swagger, they still have it. You know, it's like I told him the other day. I said, you know, we were 2 of 26 the other night. The good thing is the percentages are in our favor. I mean, we're going to make shots, and we sit there and look at their numbers and go through their numbers and shooting, and I'm sure you guys think I'm crazy. We make them like crazy. Go watch our warm-ups sometimes. We don't miss. Draven the other day made 40 straight threes in the corner at Madison Square Garden. Elite shooters, and so it's the odds are in our favor. We're going to start making shots. You go through it, and you know, now we've hopefully made some tweaks that stress that importance a little less. Now we got to get back on the boards, which we didn't do tonight.
Coach, Ben came off the bench tonight, 3 steals. Just want to get your thoughts on just him and just splitting time between positions.
Yeah, and he is splitting time, and that's one of the things that you know, with Merez out, he's playing some small ball 5, and so one of the changes we made offensively was new little action that helps him there. You know, putting him more aggressively in ball screens was something that we've been trying to do. You know, he's gone from being kind of a help guy that he was net to now he's we call him dorks in practice. You know, he's not guarding those guys anymore. He's got a guard, so he's going to play in ball screens a good amount, and he's got the ability, he's got the brains, and he's very smart to be able to handle that. But 3 steals, you know, 2 of 2 from 3, and there's no doubt we're going to need him. He's a big part of what we're doing.
Brad, you've had to use a bunch of different starting lineups out of necessity with guys out. Just what maybe went into, you know, inserting Will in the lineup tonight?
Iowa matchups. You know, with basically them playing 4 perimeter players a lot. I thought it was a really good matchup. Will could guard Traore, you know, and then you know, we kept size with Trey and Bam and Kasparas on their 3 perimeter guys, and so that was just pretty easy.
And then you kind of stuck with that group quite a bit tonight. I mean, 4 of those guys playing 33 plus. What did you like about what those 5 gave you?
Plus 28, plus 19, plus 19, plus 19, plus 17. Really nothing beyond that. They played great together. And when you get that plus minus, and Will was plus 28 on the court, and you know, it's you know, I think when you get down here, you get the 5 guys that play the best together, and you play them and you ride them, and you know, it might be different. It might be Ben some night. It might be Draven some night. Whatever it is, but I thought that that group played great together, and the good start was a real plus as well. So chemistry, just great chemistry, I thought, on both sides.
Kylin, Brad, you mentioned Kylin after Duke is the first guy you look to get this thing right. What did you see from him in the lead up and then his impact tonight as well?
2 great practices, extreme amount of talk, both holding guys accountable and pushing them, but also coaching them and teaching them. He's a wealth of experience. Kylan's really intelligent as a player, and his give me a little help coming off this screen by jumping to the ball. Talk a little sooner coming off the, all those little things that he knows come and are happening. He's dialed into, and so he becomes a coach on the floor. And then tonight he was really good, just getting downhill on the offensive side. So I've leaned on him a lot, and he's had 2 unbelievable practices. So it's no surprise that he played well.
But you said you were up basically all night coming back from Duke. Can you take us inside a little bit, that both feed in on the changes now versus holding off a little bit that moment?
I mean, I'm a bad sleeper anyway, and especially after a loss. So you watch the film, you play things back, and now it's a lot of conversations about how much can we grasp, what can we do, and we do have guys back in practice, and we do have a positive energy from the standpoint that they're not sick, feeling like crap, just trying to get through practice. So it's. I just felt it had to happen after not playing very well, and we actually played better than the score showed. We just didn't make shots, and it's Fran's the best, because Fran made the comment. He goes, "Yeah, we've all been there," and it's the truth. But it just felt like, okay, let's give them some. Let's see what we can handle with the change, and we needed I don't want to say a restart button, but we needed to see the change to get them thinking about other things other than just that moment.
Coach Underwood, very broad question, but a question that I feel like isn't asked often enough. At this point in the season, how are you doing?
I'm spectacular right now. We just won. Thank you for asking. So I live in a bubble, okay? And it's I don't read one thing you guys say. That's why I like all of you. I don't care what you say. I really don't. I don't do anything on social. And I am very, very focused on helping 15 young guys be the best they can be. And so that causes me. I'm a very bad sleeper, and it's the worst thing that's happened is I probably track my sleep score, so I get depressed when I see those things. But it's just part of it. It's part of February. It gets to be a challenge every day. Today, the sun was out, it was 60 degrees, and I walked 11,800 steps. Man, that was not just literally a breath of fresh air. It felt so good, and because you get tired of the treadmill too. But I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Oh, go ahead.
One more, Coach. So you started 3 international players in tonight's win. Can you talk about the difference in international recruiting and if that's a sustainable advantage for you all going forward?
I think so. I think it's a really positive thing for us. One, it fits our university. We have tremendous diversity here worldwide. We have some of the elite schools in different areas that attract students from all over the world. So there's a comfort there for them. I love their development. I love their intellect. You've got guys that speak 4 or 5 languages. You've got guys that have played basketball their whole life. They're very worldly, so they're beyond their years, in my opinion. And then they've played high level competition. They're playing against pros at a very young age. You know, Tommy's been playing against guys of that caliber since he was 14 years old, and so it just fits me. It fits our program, and you know, we've hit a home run with all three of those guys, and you know, I think we're in a position to continue to build upon their successes as they've done awfully well here.
Kylin talked about having a little more swagger, and they haven't had that, you know, the last 6 weeks. When did you maybe notice that or see that coming together? Was it over the last 2 days?
It was no. I mean, I was unsure. You're a little unsure because we made some changes. I'm glad they said that. That makes me. You know, I think we can whoop anybody's ass. So I've always got a little bit of that in me. But I'm glad they feel that way. But I think just making some of the subtle changes gave them a different perspective and something different to think about. And we talked a lot about belief. We talked a lot about going 1-0. And you know, that was a lot of it. So I think there was a little, you know, they deserve all the credit. They deserve all the credit. I'm so in awe of their ability to pick things up, and I'm so so in awe of how hard they played tonight. And not many, especially young teams, could handle that. Okay. Thank you.